allow us to put that into practice. Ameen.
Hey, quiet.
Stop talking. We're almost there. We're about to be done. We're going to address the last important act of worship that is legislated for us in these blessed days to come, and that is Al-Udhhiyyah. Al-Udhhiyyah, which is a sacrificial offering. The sacrificial offering. So we're going to talk about the ruling of Udhhiyyah, the conditions of Udhhiyyah, and the virtue of Udhhiyyah, and the type of animals that we have to slaughter. If I may ask, when we say Udhhiyyah, what do you understand from the word Udhhiyyah? Did you hear the word before, Udhhiyyah? Did you hear the term before? Yes. Huh? You don't know the meaning? What do you understand? I mean, do you have any idea of what Udhhiyyah is? Okay, do you know what Qurbani is? What is Qurbani? All right.
Like this?
When you sacrifice an animal. When you sacrifice an animal. All right. So, which of the Eid do we sacrifice? Is it the Eid al-Fitr or Eid al-Adha? Yes.
Eid al-Adha.
Is that Eid al-Adha? No. It's Eid al-Adha. It's Eid al-Adha. So in Eid al-Adha, we sacrifice. All right. Now, the second question is, pay attention. What is the ruling of sacrificing on the day of Eid al-Adha? Is it mandatory or recommended?
Recommended. No.
Nah.
It's recommended.
He said it's recommended.
It's recommended.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mandatory.
All right, he said it's mandatory. All right, yes.
It's mandatory.
I heard one of the girls. Yes. Cut it off now. All right, so those who, how many of you agree that it's mandatory? How many of you agree that it's recommended? And how many of you don't have no idea? All right. So it looked like those who said it's mandatory outnumbered those who said it's recommended. Now let us see. Sheikh Ishtu, who do you agree with?
Are we voting?
Are we voting? Yes, we are voting.
Recommended. We are voting.
So these people say it's recommended, these people say it's mandatory. Who do you incline to? Yes, Hadid.
Come again, can you
Raise your voice up. So Abid said if you are financially able, it becomes mandatory. But if you are not, then it is not. I mean, if you are not financially able, you cannot perform it anyway. So there is no point for us to say it is recommended because you cannot do it because you don't have it, right? So, all right. Some of the scholars said it's recommended. Are you with me? Listen carefully. But some of them said it is mandatory. The reason why they said it is mandatory, they said because Allah the Almighty has connected between Salat and Udhhiyyah in His statement, Inna a'tainaka fasalli li rabbika inna shani'aka. So he said to the Prophet, we have indeed given you abundance. And the abundance that was given to the Prophet is al-Kawthar. Right? Then he, the Messiah, said, Fasalli li rabbika wanhar. Because we have given you abundance, pray to your Lord in sacrifice. So he connected between prayer and sacrificial offering. Our scholars said in this ayah, Allah commanded the Prophet to pray and He commanded him to sacrifice. And every command indicates mandatory and obligation, except if there is an indication that takes us out from being mandatory to being recommended. And also, Allah has connected between Udhhiyyah and Salah in Surah Al-An'am. And they said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to say, "Qul inna salati wa nusuki wa mahyaya wa mamati lillahi rabbil alamin la sharika lah wa bidhalika umirtu wa ana awwalul muslimin." Allah has commanded the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to say to them, O Muhammad, that indeed my prayer, my sacrificial offering, my life and my death all belong to whom? Allah. And when you read Surah Al-Hajj, Allah Almighty has emphasized on the importance and the significance of the sacrificial offering. And at the ending, He said, وَمَنْ يُعَظِّمْ شَعَائِرَ اللَّهِ فَإِنَّهَا مِنْ تَقْوَى الْقُلُوبِ. He said, whoever honored the religious symbols of Allah Almighty, then that indeed is from the piety of the heart. So, if you are blessed with ease and the ability to slaughter on the day of Eid, then it becomes mandatory upon you to slaughter. This is the opinion of Abu Hanifa and one of the opinion of Imam Ahmed, and also our noble scholar Ibn Taymiyyah. He agreed with them, and Ibn Taymiyyah also inclined to that. So based on this, we will say that the Udhhiyyah is mandatory upon whoever is capable of doing it financially on the day of Eid. Alright. The second question. Is it okay to sacrifice on behalf of somebody who passed away?
No.
Let's say that it is Eid day and I want to make Udhhiyyah. So I bought my ram and then I said my father is dead. So let me also buy ram and do Udhhiyyah on his behalf. Is it okay to do that? Alright. Some said yes. Is there anyone who disagrees with that? No. You don't agree with that, right? Alright. Ibn Taymiyyah said Udhhiyyah is for those who are alive. Udhhiyyah is for those who are alive. And there is no proof that the Prophet ﷺ has made Udhhiyyah on behalf of his deceased wife Khadija or Aisha. I said Aisha. Khadija or his children. What are their names? Ibrahim, Abdullah, Ruqayyah, Zainab, to the end. There is no proof that says that. However, we know that the Prophet ﷺ slaughtered 2 rams. And then he said, when slaughtering the first one, هَذَا عَمْ مُحَمَّدٍ وَآلِ Muhammad. This is on behalf of Muhammad and the household of Muhammad. And then the second ram, he slaughtered and he said, هَذَا عَمْ مُحَمَّدٍ وَمِمَّنْ لَمْ يُذَبِّهْ مِنْ أُمَّةِ Muhammad. مِمَّنْ يُضَحِّي مِنْ أُمَّةِ Muhammad. This is for Muhammad and for whoever did not sacrifice from the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So for those of you who are not able to slaughter due to poverty, know that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam was already slaughtered for you. And this is from the mercy of our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Now let's move on to what type of animal can we use to slaughter. Now, goat, number 1. Cow, number 2.
Lamb.
Ram, number 3.
Sheep.
Sheep is ram, Now, he has already mentioned those. He has already mentioned that. That is sheep. No chicken, no. Yes. Camel. Right?
Someone is saying.
No. We already got it. So we have camel.
Horse.
No horse. Or cut it out now. So we have camel, cow, sheep, and goat. Listen carefully. We have camel, cow, sheep, and goat. How many are these altogether? 4. Alright. In each, there are 2 kinds, male and female, making it altogether 8. Now, the second question is, which is preferable? Is it preferable to slaughter male or female? Man, why do you always give preference to male over female? That is very unfair. I'm just kidding. All right. So between the two, the best of the two to slaughter is male, not female. The reason being is because the Prophet ﷺ, he chose ram over sheep. Is that clear? Okay. Out of the 4 categories, camel, cow, sheep, and goat, which of these is preferable, or which of them is best to slaughter? Let's go to the sisters. Raise your hand.
Hey, be quiet.
Is it preferable to slaughter camel, or a cow, or a sheep, or a goat? Which of the 4?
Are you a sister?
All right, don't speak at all. She chooses. Now, all right, Khadija said sheep. Who disagree with her? Now, who disagree with Khadija?
She's disagreeing without confidence.
So what is her preference though? We don't have time. Kudeida said camel, right? Kudeida disagree with her or what? All right. Now hold on. Now let us make our analysis. Take it easy.
Ahmed, sit down.
We are learning. Stop talking. Remain focused. No talking. Let us make our analysis now. Khadija, why do you prefer goat to camel? Yeah, I mean, why do you prefer sheep to camel?
Stay out of the middle.
Stop talking.
Hey, stop it.
She said because the sheep has more hair than the camel.
Hey, listen, why you right?
Listen. And because she knows or she has been told that the more hair, the more the blessing. You don't understand the analysis that you gave.
Listen, hold on. Listen to me carefully. Stop talking. It's not funny. It's very important to use your brain. Most of you today don't know how to use your brain. So calm down. Take it easy. All right. That is the analysis she made. The one who said camel. Why did you choose camel to
Because our camel have more blood.
She said,
Hey.
Now.
the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam uses camel.
All right.
So we need to follow the sunnah of the Prophet
Allahu
Muhammad
Akbar.
sallallahu alaihi wasallam using camel.
A takbir. Okay, now calm down. The proof that she gave is actually Khadija's proof. Because those who said sheep is better than camel, they said because the Prophet chose sheep instead of camel. And the Prophet would not choose except that which is the best. Alright, that's number one. When Ismail was ransomed, what was he ransomed with? Was he ransomed with a camel or a sheep? Sheep. Right? What Fadina will be victim Ali. So Ismail was ransomed with sheep. So this is their proof. I would think. Do you agree with them? Alright, let's go to those who said camel. The Prophet ﷺ said the one who attained Jummah
Give me that. Give me.
early before the Imam, what reward will he have? He will get the reward of the one who? Excellent. Who sacrificed camel. And then the one who come after him will get the reward of the one who sacrificed a cow. then sheep, then goat, then chicken, then egg, right? So the Prophet started with the one with the biggest reward to the one with the smallest reward, which indicate that the one who sacrificed with camel is better than the one who sacrificed with sheep. And because camel has more meat than sheep. But our noble scholar Ibn Uthaymeen said, pay attention to this. Pay attention to this analysis. Very, very important. Are you with me? Can two people come together? Let's say I have $200. It's not sufficient for me to buy ram, but my friend also has $200. Can we put the $200 together to buy ram on the day of Eid and slaughter as our opinion? No.
Where's your money?
Pay attention. All right. Pay attention. So two people cannot come together and slaughter or sacrifice sheep. However, can two people come together and slaughter camel? Are you with me? Pay attention. Can two people come together and slaughter camel on the day of Eid? Yes, they can. Can three people come together? Yes. 4? Yes. 5? Yes. 6? Yes. 7? Yes. 8? No. So 7 people can share a cow, 7 people can share a camel, but only one person can slaughter a goat or a sheep. So listen carefully. Based on this, Ibn Uthaymeen said, if one person is slaughtering camel by himself without participating with others, and the other is slaughtering sheep by himself without participating with others, then the one who slaughtered camel by himself has more reward than the one who slaughtered sheep by himself. However, if you are participating with others, then the one who slaughtered sheep by himself have more reward than those who slaughtered camel. Did you get it? And if you don't get it, then forget it, like they say. Listen, fiqh is very, very deep. It needs critical analysis. If you don't think well, you will not be able to understand fiqh. So pay attention. If you're not focused, you will not be able to digest it or understand it. So number one, we make a comparison between sheep and camel. We said which is more preferable. Some of you said sheep and some of you said camel. Those who said sheep said we chose sheep because the Prophet chose sheep. And the Prophet would not choose except that which is the best. And when Ismail was ransomed, he was ransomed by a sheep, not a camel or a cow. However, those who said camel, they said camel is the best because the Prophet said whoever attend Friday Jummah early will get the reward of the one who sacrificed a camel, then a cow, then a sheep, then a goat, then a hen, then an egg. Chicken and what? Egg, right? So it started from the most important to the least important, which indicated slaughtering camel has more reward than slaughtering a sheep. However, we also mentioned that 7 people can come together to slaughter one camel, but only one person can slaughter one sheep. So if 7 people come together to slaughter one camel, and one person by himself slaughter sheep, he get more reward than those who come together to slaughter one camel. But if one person slaughter camel by himself and the other slaughter sheep by himself, the one who slaughtered camel by himself get more reward than the one who slaughtered sheep. Does that make sense? Beautiful. Now, let's move on. The second condition. So the first condition, it has to be from these 8 categories of animal: cattle, cow, sheep, and goats, with their kinds. The second, you have to slaughter after the Eid. You have to slaughter after the Eid. If you slaughter before the Eid, it will not be considered as an udhiyah, rather it will be considered like any other meat that you slaughter for eating. But it will not be counted as udhiyah. Condition number 3, it has to be free from fault. Meaning it has to be faultless. If the animal is lame, meaning it's limping, when it walks, you cannot use it for udhiyah. If the animal is one-eyed, you cannot use it for udhiyah. If the animal is so skinny and bony, there is no meat in it, you cannot use it for udhiyah. If the animal is extremely sick, that the sickness is appearing on him, when you see the animal, you can tell this animal is sick, you should not use it for udhiyah. Because Allah the Almighty said, وَلَا تَيَمَّمُوا الْخَبِيثَ مِنْهُ تُنْفِقُونَ. And the Prophet said, لَا تُجْزِئُ الْأَرْجَاءُ الْبَيِّنُ أَرْجُهَا وَالْأَوْرَاءُ الْبَيِّنُ أَوْرُهَا to the end. Alright, the fourth condition, the animal has to reach or be thaniya. Thaniya means when they started growing the 4 teeth. The 4 teeth. The 4 teeth, the 2 on the top and the 2 on in the bottom. Alright. So there are age limits for each animal. For camel, how old do they reach before growing the 4 teeth? At what age do camels grow the 4 teeth? 10, no? Alright, raise your hand if you know. Yes, Hamza. It said camel start growing 4 teeth at 1 year. No, that's wrong. Now,
Don't just say.
don't just say it. If you know, if you don't, put your hand down. Don't waste our time. Yes. He said camels start growing 4 teeth at 10 years old. He said at that time it's already gone. Yes. Not from the girls. Let me see someone. Mamaru.
Right.
Yes, Farida. Uh-huh.
He said 6 months.
Allahu Akbar. That would be problematic.
Muhammad,
No. So you guys have been slaughtering all the time and you don't know this? Alright, now pay attention. Camel starts growing the 4 teeth at the age of 5.
You got to say that.
Hey. Only Muhammad say that. Yes.
Who said that? Muhammad?
Yeah,
Give him a dollar. Alright. So with that being said, listen carefully. With that being said, if the animal did not reach that stage of growing the 4 teeth and you use them for udhiyah, it will not be accepted. So if you want to use camel for udhiyah, you want to make sure and confirm that the camel is 5 years old. That's number 1. Number 2, cow. At what age do cows grow their 4 teeth? Raise your hand if you know. Raise your hand if you know. That's wrong. At what age do cows start growing their 4 teeth? That's wrong.
If you don't know,
Alright, I guess nobody knows.
That's 7.
7 what?
9. 7.
Alright, put your hand
Alright,
down.
put your hands down.
Abi,
Abi said 2. He is right. So
Hey.
cow, listen, make sure that this has registered. There are some information that you only want to learn them at one time because it may not be repeated again. Alright, so take advantage of every opportunity that you have to learn, okay? So cows start growing their 14 at the age of 2. Alright, now let's come to sheep and goat. At what age do they grow their 4 teeth? Yes. Now, the one in the back. Yes. Bambi. Now. Yes, Farida.
6 months.
It's not correct. No, it's not correct.
Mariam.
It's not correct. Pay attention. Yes, Mariam. No, Khadija, right? Where's Mariam?
Mariam, Chang.
Yes, Mariam. In there.
Is it a month? Is it a month or a year?
All right, time out. Time out.
Time out. Alas.
Here you go.
Sit down.
All right, yes, Remy, 1 year. So both sheep and goats, pay attention, both sheep and goats grow their 40 at the age of 1. However, the prophet said, if you are not able to come across a ram or a sheep that is 1 year old, then there is nothing wrong with using the sheep that is 6 months old. So using a sheep that is 6 months old is an alleviation. It's an ease that the prophet gave us. Why? Because sometimes it can be very, very difficult. Now, you can give it permission in 6 months, but this is only for sheep, not goat. And again, sheep don't grow their 40 at the age of 6 months, but rather at the age of 1. But the prophet has made it easy on us because sometimes it can be difficult to come across them. Okay, now the question is here. Pay attention. That's another question here. What if? Okay, let me repeat this question. At what age do camel grow their 14 again? All of you. Cow? 2. Cow? 2. Sheep and goat? If you are not able to come across a sheep at the age of 1, then you can use sheep at the age of 6 months. Alright, now, back to another question. What if a camel grow their 4 teeth at the age of 4 before reaching 5? Can we use them for Udhhiyyah?
Yes. No.
Alright, the answer is no, because that is out of the norm. It's out of the norm. And we don't establish ruling based on odd situations. And this is very what? Oh. Okay, now, what if a camel hit 5 years but did not grow their 4 teeth? Can we use the Udhhiyyah? No. Yes. Because most of the time, they grow their 4 teeth at the age of 5. That is why the scholars said we use age as the criteria of knowing whether an animal has reached the age of slaughtering or not. I think we're going to stop here because my time is already out. But then I'm going to allow you guys time for question and answer. If you have any question, you can ask, and we are here to answer your questions. Shekishki is here. The pastor is here. Alright, let's keep it. Let's tune it down. Now.
Shake, we can play. Shake, we can go play.
Listen, you have to behave, okay? We will release you guys very soon, and we have pizza ready. But if you are misbehaving, you're not going to have one.
Shake, I have one. Shake, come to the bathroom. Shake, come to the bathroom.
Alright, so listen, stop talking. Stop talking.
Why are you laughing like that?
Put your phones away.
Okay. Whoever has a question can use this mic.
Me?
Stop
Hey,
talking.
sit down. Be quiet. It's not for you guys yet. We are not, asking you to them yet. Be quiet. Put your hand down.
Listen, try to be focused. Like I said, if you're not focused, you will not learn. Alright, so the question is, what happens if I want to sponsor my mom's trip to Hajj, but I can't afford to sponsor her with her brother? Sheikh Hassan, I think this is your question. You spoke about Hajj. So her question is, she wants to pay for her mother to go for Hajj, but she cannot afford to pay for her mom and her mahram. What does she do?
Mom, right? She wants to pay for the mom.
But I think the concern is she needs a mahram, but she cannot afford to pay for her.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In my opinion, that and what I have come across is about the mahram. If a woman did not have a mahram that will escort her to the Hajj, she cannot go to the Hajj. And the second opinion is she can pay someone to make the Hajj on behalf of her mom, which all the scholars has came across it, inshallah. And if there is any other opinion which I don't know right now, inshallah, later on we will talk about it, inshallah. Jazakumullah.
So, based on what he said, and this is what some of the scholars said, if a woman does not have a mahram, which is not some of the scholars, but all the scholars say if a woman does not have a mahram, Hajj is not mandatory upon her. The reason being is because she has not met the condition of obligation, even though she meets the condition of validation. Meaning, if she performs Hajj, Hajj is valid. But would she be held accountable because she is financially able but did not perform Hajj? No. Why? Because she's lacking a mahram. The second statement is that if she's traveling in a safe company, which they call Rufqatun Ma'muna, if she's traveling in a safe company with a group of women together, then there is nothing wrong with that. Her Hajj is accepted and is valid. Even if she travel not in a safe company, she'll be sinning for traveling without a mahram. But is her Hajj valid? Yes, her Hajj is valid. But the whole point is, women have to understand, if you don't have a mahram, you will not be held accountable for not performing Hajj, even if you are financially able, even if you meet all the conditions of Hajj. And this is an ease that Allah Almighty brought to you. So accept the ease, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Habibi.
Say you got all the money to slaughter, right? It's right after you pray when you were late, and all the places are filling up, all the places around you. You all sell out. What do you do?
All right. So he said, I have the money to slaughter, but then after the Eid, I look around. I want all the slaughtering house, right? And the sheep are gone, the cows are gone, the camels are gone. What do I do? There is a general principle that says, La wajib ma'al ajas wa la haram ma'al tirab. There is no obligation along with inability, and there is no haram along with necessity. So if you are not able to come across the animal that you need, it's not because you did not try hard. You're just not able to come across it, then you are not going to be held accountable for that. However, can you appoint someone to slaughter on your behalf? Meaning, can you give the money to someone in a different country, let's say Mali or Benin or wherever, say slaughter on my behalf? Yes, you can do that on your behalf. So if you feel like you couldn't find something here, then you can send the money overseas for them to do it on your behalf, and you will still get the reward. Now. Yes. Yes, take it.
If you guys don't ask, we will ask.
Is it permissible to slaughter a live animal? Is it permissible to slaughter an animal which is alive?
Yes, because you cannot slaughter an animal that is already dead. If an animal is dead, it's dead. You can slaughter.
You can slaughter something that's dead.
Actually, it's the other way around. It is not permissible to slaughter an animal that is dead, but it's permissible to slaughter an animal that is alive because you have to drain out the blood. You have to drain out the blood. That is the wisdom behind slaughtering, because if you